Hey everyone, I'm Kloo. I'll do some Loop Hero. So we're going to be starting off with a new save file. I do have old playthrough. You can see the date. So it was just about when Loop Hero first came out. I know there's been some minor updates, but nothing substantial, unfortunately. It's kind of sad that this game just sort of lost its momentum. But I've run out of stuff to really do in So Dungeon, so I need a new casual idle game to just leave in the background and monitor now and then. I do love idle games, so we'll start a new save. Skip tutorial. Well, no, we'll play the tutorial. It's been quite a while. Settings should be all fine. Yeah, let's just start. So, I'm not really one to read. Is X just skip? Yeah. But we will check out the tutorial. Can't see anything on the path. So, this is us. We have a planning stage. And then we can click to turn on the adventure. The little guy's in red. I thought red was a bit better than the normal white. I might go and change colors. So, we run into it, and then an auto battle ensues. We should get some loot. Yep, and a little location we can place in the world. So I find this quite fun because obviously you can manipulate the world, and then there's a lot of cool things for you to set up. So the Grove, as you can see on this side over here, it says it spawns a rat wolf every 2 days. And this little bar at the top is the day counter. So every 2 days one's going to spawn. So we kind of want to get some out on the field. Oh, no, it wants me to deal with equipment first. So we found a sword. And now we can put Grove. So it wants me to put it in a set location, unfortunately. You continue on. Get to fight one. Not too hard. Get a better weapon. And a few more bits of land. So we get forests. So these generate resources? No, special effects. That's what they are. So hero attack speed, HP, and then extra HP for every adjacent mountain. And as you can see, these little locations go outside the map. So you can probably just stack them wherever you want. Fairly simple. I think that's the tutorial done. Cool, so we'll retreat and go through the main game. Probably should have just skipped that. Okay, so we're starting off building like our little hub area. You can see there's lots of different things to build. A little bit of planning necessary, but you can just have fun with it. It's a great game if you've never checked it out. We can start our very first mission as well. So this is our little pathway. We don't have any buildings yet, so should get them now. And they should, yeah. So while I'm building, the game will pause for me. So we got meadows, which is 2 HP at the start of each day. So it's a pretty decent one. There are bonuses for building different locations together. Landscape, not sure what you want to call them. They can combine to effectively turn into some better things. I think the first easy one to figure out is a 3x3 of the rocks. We did get a grove. We'll put that probably just after the camp. We get a full heal and then we can take on a tougher enemy. Got some rings as well. Game goes pretty quickly, so just go through it casually. Weapon, just equip stuff as you get it. All this tutorial stuff's pretty easy. You can see there's different rarities, so usually just equip the better rarity. And some more rocks, and a grove. Probably just stack them together. I think you actually want a space in between, because you can see the rat wolf moved up one. Cool, so we got a treasury, so this is something new. It gives a random basic resource after placing anything on an empty tile around it. So that means you want a essentially 3x3 location, where you can put stuff all around it. Must be surrounded. Yep, it's fine. We also got a cemetery that spawns a skeleton every 3 days. So we'll go ahead and a little bit just before the camp, so we deal with it. We've also got some more meadows for healing, so we might as well put them together. And another rock. And we also got this. These cards are very useful. They're called Oblivion. Erase any established tiles, erase all monsters from the road. These are very important once you get to the bosses, because a lot of the boss mechanics will spawn special tiles. Ooh. I think I already messed up. I think I was thinking of mountains instead of rocks. I think you want to surround a mountain in rocks. Doesn't matter, it'll all come back to me in time. So we got another treasury and a spider cocoon. Do actually. So it's always good just to place stuff to level up. So these summon an adjacent, so you can actually start comboing things. So for instance, this cocoon is now going to spawn a spider, and we also have one of the rat wolves nearby. So it's a little bit harder, and we're actually taking a bit of HP damage. So you don't want to make it too hard, and it's about finding that balance so you get enough loot to progress. What's our ring? The sword's a bit better. We don't have a shield yet. They both have the same defense. Also, want to really crack these treasuries. Don't need to obliviate anything. Get a better shield. So yeah, so we kind of made a really hard fight because we stuck a cocoon next to the forest. It's not too bad. We should get some resources. Yeah, we might be in a pickle. I think I can use spacebar to pause as well. We are getting a lot of cards. We'll keep putting rocks around the treasuries. I know if you completely crack a treasury, so surround it completely, it spawns some evil stuff. So, something to be wary of. We did get a really good sword though. We are getting high level gear, which is the big thing. Not sure if the level, loop level. So, well 3, so we can find, I think, anywhere from 2 to 4. We got another cemetery, another meadow. I'm probably going to avoid the cemetery because we need to start regrouping our health a bit. Obviously, you want to fight a lot of things because that's how you get these land tiles. Yeah, so this fight's going to be real tough now. But we're getting some good stuff from it. Got an axe. Anything great. This ring has damage as well as vampire. Vampirism. Regen is always good. Evasion. There's lots of stuff to remember. It'll come back in time, I'm sure. More defense, but I think I'll stick with our healing. Okay, so adds vampires to the tiles around it. So again, you don't really want to stack. Kind of want to spread out. Also got a goblin camp. Spawn an adjacent tile once a day. Ooh, we'll dialogue with them. I think every time we run into a new enemy. So it does look like we're going to have a bit of trouble with this map. I've made it slightly too hard. Okay, so road lantern. Just a maximum number of spawning, so we can use that to cancel out these tiles and prevent a huge number of mobs from farming. I'm going to pause so we go through these tiles a bit better. We got another beacon. Beacon increases our movement speed and attack speed, so we want it to surround our difficult tiles. Unfortunately, I can't get that. Cemetery as well. Another road lantern, so we'll nerf probably the goblin camp, because as we fight larger encounters, our time's going to slow down a lot. More meadows are always great. Cocoon, probably don't need to use it. We might as well put more things in line with the towers, so we have all our buffs. Obliterate, probably don't need to do anything. Probably leave the cocoon off the map for now. I think camp is near a full heal. Hopefully. You can also see as we pass over certain tiles we get resources. They are definitely needed. I can't remember if they stack. They might not, in which case we'd rather put it there. A battlefield. So it spawns a chest on each loop, but enemies on it become ghosts when they die. So you want it essentially far away from anything spawning. That way you can get the treasure without consequences. And we did lose. So we have the option to retreat. If we had boss kills, we could use this little skull to take all our resources. But we get 30%. So not bad for our first run. You can see the camp's a bit more busy. We've got a whole bunch of different villagers coming to join us, it looks like. So we might be able to build some stuff. We can build a field kitchen. So the campfire will now heal more, and we also unlock the blood grove card. So all of these unlock different cards. You might as well build the kitchen. There is method to your madness on placing, but that comes into play more so when you unlock some different things down the road. So you can see here, we can also upgrade them. The tooltips are a bit... grainy. A lot of things blend in together. But still, it's a little gripes. Right, so now we have the proper menu. So we've got our deck, where we can pick out different cards. So we unlock this Blood Grove. So it can be placed near adjacent roads. It essentially weakens all enemies. But there are consequences to that you will discover. We might as well turn it on. As you can see, we can have between 7 and 12 different cards. And then we're still just on Act 1. So enemies have 0 to 1 abilities. They have less strength. They grow only slightly per loop. And the max amount of resources I think we can collect is 10 of everything. So it's not too bad. And then obviously we only have the warrior unlocked. So we'll give this a better try. Be more strategic with our placement. So we don't want too many creatures early on. The other big mechanic that we haven't really gone over is this little bar down here. So map completion. When this bar is filled, the boss of the chapter will appear. So the more tiles you place, the more this fills up, and then once it's full is when you actually have to fight the boss. So there's also different combos. So as you can see on the rocks, if I bring it up with me, it says 3 HP for every adjacent rock or mountain. On the mountain card, it just says 5 for each. So you can combo them together. Obviously, just stacking mountains next to each other is better, but you can also see they don't have the inbuilt. So if we just place this mountain, it does nothing. If we place a rock next to it, we now get the 3 HP from the rock, the +3 for every mountain next to it, and 5 because of the mountain having a rock next to it. You do need to think about how you want to build certain structures. Then we have that treasury. Unfortunately, I should have held on to the meadows, because they're the perfect thing to surround a treasury with. Also got beacon, so we want to cover as many tiles as possible. So over here, so this is where we're going to essentially start building our different enemies to deal with, since we have the beacon effect. We also equip an axe and a shield. Got another mountain. Armor. Rock, so our health has gone up quite a lot now. Okay, so a vampire mansion. So we don't want it near the skeleton, but we don't mind it being somewhere else, where, say, casual mobs kind of spawn. So a vampire spawned with the slime, instead of with the tougher enemy of being the skeleton. So they are quite a hard mob to deal with. As you saw, we took quite a bit of damage from them. So you don't want to build too many. Groves are probably the easiest, then cemeteries, and then the vampire mansions. But you will only encounter vampires as long as there's different mobs on the pathway. As long as nothing spawns, you don't have to fight any vampires. It says right there, add vampires to battles on tiles around it. Right, we'll put the grove, probably deal with one. Surrounding our little treasury. Another mansion. So if we put 2 nearby, so that one tile where they overlap, you'd actually fight 2 vampires. Another mountain. A battlefield somewhere far away. Where it hits the least amount of tiles. So here's 3, 3. Here's a nice spot, only hits 2. Another battlefield. I think they're fine to overlap. No, so they create blood paths, which spawn a blood clot every 4 turns. Okay, so that's not too great. Not the end of the world. Alright, there you go. So a 3x3 of rocks or mountains creates a peak, I think it is. So a mountain peak. We gain a lot of HP. We gain extra HP for adjacent mountains or rocks, but it does spawn a harpy every 2 days. And my memory tells me harpies can go wherever they want. Because I haven't found a single ring, interestingly. So we can still just put rocks around it. You still want the benefit of mountains, so mountains and then rocks. So goblin camps spawn from every 10 mountain or rock tiles, but we can just straight away delete it. And then we don't have to worry about goblins since they are a bit tough. So mountain, on the mountain, probably the best way to stack HP. Put a beacon near the campsite because that's where the boss always spawns, is near your little camp area. And add another cemetery. It's not better, is it? Now we have counter. So counter is us dealing damage back. Some more meadows. Which are actually turning into something, and I did not see. What do they turn into? The meadows become blooming meadows when anything's adjacent, I feel. The mountain, road lantern. So anywhere we don't want a lot of entities to spawn. So for instance here, we still want a couple, but we don't want them to just swarm one tile, because they can move up and down tiles as they spawn. Chest is good, we finally get a ring, and a pretty decent one. Armor has more HP, has a regen, but we lose attack speed, counter, and evasion, so I'm probably going to hold off. Alright, so we're doing a bit better this time around. Got a shield. Harpy, new entity. Spider cocoon. So we'll probably stick them somewhere far away. So that covers there, so we can encounter spiders. Spiders are very easy early on. They're one of the tougher mobs once they start getting abilities. The road lantern. Probably don't want too many blood clots. Rocks. Alright, so we got a blood grove. So blood groves are a good thing and a bad thing. They will obviously deal with the enemies. They do spawn, I think they're called like monstrosities, which are quite bad. Yeah, we'll stick with our current armor. Yeah, blood clots are also kind of a bad thing. You can see they deal quite a bit of damage, and they attack very often. Plus their inbuilt evasion, which it doesn't show to, so no, it just says ghosts. Ghosts actually have a very interesting mechanic, so they can essentially trigger over and over again, and each time you get a worse variant of a ghost. So it says more attack speed, less defense, but also more damage. Another mansion. Probably just here's fine. We're doing on resources. Getting quite a bit. And our HP is maintaining, which is very good. There are a lot of enemies preventing me from building though. Rock, another cocoon, another grove, meadow, more rocks. Ooh, that was a misclick. It's going to show what happens once you crack your treasury. Right, we can do this one. Okay, so the treasury opens up, you get a lot of stuff, you get cards, but it now spawns a gargoyle every 3 days, which is kind of bad. Another goblin village. I think goblins are quite annoying. They don't really give you much resources. So whenever you pass over a tile, if you've seen, we get our resources. So that's why you want to build like groves and the cemeteries, because they give you stuff for passing over. I think cemeteries are rocks, obviously groves are wood. Anything we want to equip. Regen and evasion. More defense, more damage. We lose the attack speed though. It's fine. Nothing to obliterate. Just want meadows for the sake of meadows. It does look like we'll probably lose before we get to the boss again. Being a bit callous in my building. Should really be trying to combo things. So sticking meadows near other buildings. All little things that, well, you learn in time. I think you can though. You can flee if you are going to die. Click and hold to automatically return. So, okay, it does say it. So, before when we died, we only kept 30% of our resources. If we do it ourselves, we'll get 60%. So it is something to consider. Especially once things start getting a lot harder. Like, I don't think we'll have a good chance against the boss as we currently are. The mountain. When we have lots of HP, we find some good items, we should be fine. Not too much better. Just a quick glance at the arrows. Bad little mimic. Rock. Much better weapon, that should really help us. I haven't had a weapon upgrade in a while. Shield. Yep. Another beacon. Be over here where there's lots of different entities. That does cover more. So yeah. Probably gonna be done in pretty soon, it looks like. Yeah, another treasury. Won't be able to crack it. We're doing decent damage and we're recouping a lot. So probably when we get to the camp, I think we can retreat and take 100% of the resources with us. I do have to time my pause. We'll stack a few different things just to try and help us out. Might as well see if we can just dump all our tiles and trigger something. We're almost there. Not quite enough. Alright, so if we retreat here, you can see it's got that golden glow. We keep all our resources. So we are going to retreat and try to advance our camp. We're just going to do like little expeditions till we can actually take on the boss. So, can't actually build anything, but we did get kind of close. And you can see this one unlocks a village card, which is really useful. A new class, swamp, and the ability to craft tools. And tools are very important, they're like passives. But anyway, thanks for watching, we'll leave it there for this one. Hope you enjoyed. See ya!